Hi, 7th grade. This is my attempt to introduce you to a new fad in education. It's called a flipped classroom. I'm going to give some instruction that you can watch at your convenience, and then you bring your questions to class, and we could use the time in class a little more effectively. This will also help you if you want to work ahead, or if you are absent, you can access this video and then get any information that would have been given in class. You can have that at the convenience of your home, or if you want to listen to it during class time at school when it's convenient, either during access time or during another vocab class. You can listen to the vocab or watch this vocab video. Anyway, I'm going to be working through the information here on the worksheets by giving you the part of speech, explaining a little bit about the word, and in order to help you fill in 11 through 20 on the worksheet. And then on the odd lessons, I'm going to give you the parts of speech to help you try to figure out the main analogy, so that you can become a little more independent with your understanding of analogies. So you could come to me in class time and say, well, I think it's a performer action analogy. Am I on the right track? And I can give you a thumbs up on that, or try to lead you in the right direction. Anyway, if you would turn to page 3 in your books and have out your lesson, then I'm going to go through the words in the order that they appear right above where it says exercise 1, word busting. Right above that is the order that I have them on your worksheet. So let's take a look at our first word. The first word is acquittal. Acquittal is a noun, and it's a term that you would hear in a legal setting, in a courtroom setting. In fact, it's the opposite. It refers to an outcome of a trial. An outcome, generally there are two possibilities for outcomes, either a conviction or an acquittal. Conviction, the defendant is found guilty. Acquittal, that's the opposite, not guilty. So acquittal, once again, it's a legal term, and it is a noun, right? Our second word, assert, is a verb. Now you might be more familiar with the adjective form, assertive. If a person is assertive, they're going to make sure that their opinion is heard. They're going to make sure that people listen to them, all right, that they get their say. So if you assert something, you claim something to be true, or you make some sort of claim, all right, you want to make sure, you are making sure that your opinion or your knowledge is being communicated. All right, so assert is a verb. Condescend is a verb. Condescend, in that word we see the word descend. All right, so condescend means normally your behavior is here, but if you condescend, it means, oh, you stoop to a lower level of either of maybe behavior, or if you condescend, you may be stooping down to interact with a group of people that you normally would not. Sometimes we think about the term condescend with people who are on a higher social standard, and if they condescend, they speak to a group that is perhaps on a lower social level. all right? They stoop to a lower level of behavior or interaction. Condescend is a verb. Contemptuous is our next word, and it ends in OUS. Any word that ends in OUS, adjective. So our base word, or we take off that suffix, contempt, is the noun form. Now, if you understand contempt, then you understand the adjective a little bit better. Contempt means scorn, severe disdain or dislike, or just wanting to have nothing to do with someone or something. If you show scorn towards them, you want nothing to do with them. If you show contempt towards them, you want nothing to do with them. A total disdain or dislike, scorn. So a person who's contemptuous, they are showing scorn or total dislike or disgust with something or someone. Elite, our fifth word, is an adjective or a person noun. All right, same spelling. So it depends on how it's used in the sentence. An elitist, or excuse me, the elite group is the group at the top. They're the best. For instance, right now we're watching the Olympics. They're the elite athletes. All right, they are at the top of their performance level. All right, so they're competing in with others that are in that elite group. All right, there can be elite athletes, there could be elite groups of academics, elite artists, but it's always the group at the top, all right? That's the elite. Our next word, evolve, is a verb. Now you've heard that word. You've probably used that word. You've probably used it or talked about it in religion class or science class in its noun form when discussing the theory of evolution. Evolve is the verb form of that word, and evolve means to change slowly, okay? Not a quick change, not when you mix two chemicals and there's an explosion, not a quick change, but a very slow change. That's what evolve means, all right? Fortitude is a noun. Fortitude, I think, it's a wonderful word, and it's easy to visualize, I think. When I was growing up, I'd like to, with my siblings, we would make forts, and the best fort could withstand any sort of onslaught by the neighboring kids, the best fort could withstand any sort of attack, all right? I think of the word fort, and if it can stand strong, that helps me think about the meaning of fortitude, standing strong, enduring, right? That's a term, or that's what fortitude means, that you're standing strong on an issue. You could show fortitude in that, or you could show fortitude if you are going through a difficult time. If you stand strong and hold your ground, you are demonstrating fortitude. So I imagine that fort, that strong fort, that helps me remember the word fortitude. The next word, word 8, is inarticulate. The in prefix on this word demonstrates the opposite, okay? So we look at the word articulate, or articulate, and it's an adjective. If a person is articulate, it means that they can speak in a way that is easily understood. All right, they get their point across with clarity and precision. And so if a person is inarticulate, it means they're speaking in such a way that people cannot understand them. Their message, if it's inarticulate, means the recipient of the message could not understand it. Now, what might cause somebody to be inarticulate? Well, if they've suffered some sort of trauma, or they're in shock, extreme fear, extreme joy, any sort of extreme might make a person inarticulate. All right? So once again, that's an adjective. The ninth word is mentor. Mentor is a person noun. That O-R at the end makes it a person noun. And a mentor is a fantastic teacher, someone that you would like to emulate, somebody that would help you in a specific field of study, perhaps help you to achieve a certain skill level in a particular area of athletics. And it's usually an older person helping the younger person, okay? That's a mentor, somebody that the younger person can look to as, giving sage advice and just really helping them in an area, or helping him grow in a particular area. All right, that's a mentor. Notoriety. Notoriety is a noun. Now, this one is easy to remember as well, because I think of the word note. If I take note of someone, it means I notice them, right? I'm like, oh, okay. You notice them. If somebody has notoriety, it means they've been noticed, or he or she has been noticed. But notoriety means that that person is noticed for negative reasons. I think a very obvious, serious example would be Hitler. Everybody knows about Hitler, but generally speaking, everybody knows about him for negative reasons. Okay? On a little more lighthearted note or example might be Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. Remember in the first one when he's captured by, I forget the one captain guy or the commander guy, and he says, you're the worst pirate I've ever heard of. And Jack Sparrow says, but you have heard of me. See, that is, Jack Sparrow is noting or expressing his notoriety. It doesn't matter that he's known for being the worst pirate. The fact that the commander had heard of him, that's all that mattered to Jack Sparrow. That's notoriety. All right? So hopefully that has helped you to get you through on page 5, numbers 11 through 20, and then also on page 6, 21 through 30. Now if you turn to page 124 in your book, you'll see all the different types of analogies, all right, on that page. That can help you. Also, if you have your cheat sheet that I gave you, that will help you with your analogies as well. Let's take a look on page 126. I'm going to give you the parts of speech, and you could write it right above each word, and then try to formulate a guess or what you think the main analogy is. And then, if you know for sure, like if it's a noun and an adjective, you know for sure it's characteristic quality. That's all it can be. great. But if you have questions about one of them, like if it's a noun, and you're not sure, because there are 7 options, that would be a question that I would love to talk to you about, okay? Just to try to help you think it through a little bit, okay? So, for number 1, condescend is a verb, and snob is a person noun, okay? Number 2, contemptuous is an adjective. Scornful is also an adjective. And number 3, elite is a noun. Superior is an adjective. And you're saying, Ms. Hollenbeck, how do you know that elite is being used as a noun there? Especially because it can be either a noun or an adjective, same spelling. That would be a good question. And let me tell you how I figured this out. And not because I have an answer book, but because I do all of these as well. And I looked at my answers, and I have to have an answer that matches. And I noticed the first words of all the answers, they're all nouns. So I have to be working with a noun in the main analogy. Okay? Number 4, evolve is a verb. Change is a verb. Number 5, excerpt is a noun. Selected is a verb. Excerpt will be a word in lesson 2. Okay. Number 6, fortitude is a noun. Weakness is a noun. Number 7, mentor is a person noun. Advise is a verb. Number 8, notoriety is a noun. Fame is a noun. Number 9, pauper is a person noun. Impoverished is an adjective. Impoverished is one of those words, it looks like a verb, but it functions as an adjective. You may recall that from grammar class last year. Those are participles. Okay, so impoverished is a participle. It functions as an adjective, and all we're concerned about right now is function. So we have a noun and an adjective. Okay. Number 10, prophetic is an adjective. Predictive is an adjective. Okay. So I'm hoping that this will help you get a start on your Vocab 1. I'm going to be doing this for all of the lessons, just giving you parts of speech and that sort of thing, trying to help you with the words. If you use this video prior to coming to class, that'll help you to really ask the questions that you desire to answer. Otherwise, sometimes you get lost in other things, lost in, doing something else, and you forget the question that you really want to ask. All right? Hopefully this will help with that. All right? So, thanks, and I'll talk to you again in Vocab Lesson 2.